This clip is brought to you by Viore Clothing, best in-gym and out-of-gym apparel that you can possibly wear so you don't look like such a dusty f***. Enjoy this clip.
I've always felt that like fitness and strength training, like I've been lucky to be a part of it for so long. 2 older brothers that kind of forced me into it. They told me I was a pussy if I didn't do it. So I try to do it and try to live up to some of their expectations. But down the road, as I got into it more, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is like a secret. Like, it doesn't seem like anybody else knows about like what this can do for your body, your mind, your spirit. Why do you think so many fitness people are gravitating towards your stuff? Because I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing them clip your voice and then put it to something that they're doing with their workouts. Like, I'm seeing it all over the place. So it's pretty amazing.
So one thing I feel like my motivation is for the underdog. And a lot of people in fitness that go to the gym and work out every day, they're trying to change something. Mm-hmm. They want to be more. They want to love themselves more. They want the world to love them more. But in the process of working out, they realize that the only love they ever needed was the love of self. And as you train, you build confidence, right? You'll see that timid individual walking to the gym and they have no confidence. They have no belief in themselves. But once they see a man like Mark, they say, yo, one thing about a bodybuilder or a heavyweight lifter, they're just human beings. They're just men that said, I want to be greater than what I was born. And I think my motivation speaks to the individual that starts off with nothing. You know, starts off with just a thought, just a small glimpse of what they can be. And sometimes I tell everybody, I'm not no Messiah. I'm not God, because that is a very special man. I'm not any of those things. I'm like an alarm clock. I just remind you of the greatness that you have inside of you.
Go, fuck, there it is again.
There you go.
Time to go to work.
Absolutely.
If you rewind time 10 years ago, I was that person that you just described. And funny enough, well, I guess not funny enough, just again, we were talking about that universe. I listened to your voice every single day. Like I would go to the gym and it's like, I got to put that YouTube clip on. It was the one where the dude was on the beach and you were talking about when you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll find success.
Wait, well, that was you?
I think you got it mixed up with.
Yeah, that's
Eric Thomas.
That's Eric Thomas.
Oh shit, my bad.
Eric Thomas.
Now I feel terrible. So.
You good? We get that. I always get that resemblance, and you don't feel no way, King, because everybody says the same thing.
Okay.
It's similar, but when you listen to my work, when you go into depth, like my Pain and Purpose album.
Yep, I've heard
When
that.
you go into depth of that, you'll start to hear the distinctive difference between me and him. See, me, I'm like the guy on Batman, Banter Kane. I was born in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when the difference between me and a lot of other speakers, bro, you might listen to other speakers with your ears, but can you feel it in your soul? I study speakers like Earl Nightingale, Jim Rome, Les Brown, T.D. Jakes.
Those people are mentors of mine.
Yeah.
But from a distance. Never met any of them. They're YouTube mentors.
Then
of
you
mine.
think about one of my favorite. This is what the world don't know. One of my favorite speakers of all time, the favorite, Myles Munroe. An absolutely phenomenal.
Write that down.
I didn't even know who that is. Yeah.
Myles Munroe. Yeah, the world didn't want anybody to know about. Myles Munroe died in a accidental plane crash. Flying over the Bermuda Island. And the person who taught me about Myles Munroe is Les Brown. Mm-hmm. Les Brown told me that Myles Munroe was one of the greatest speakers that ever graced the earth. He was definitely sent from God. Myles Munroe has a legendary speech where he talks about 2 lions. And this is a message I want to give to somebody out here. It's about 2 lions and a group of hyenas. And what happened was it was one lion walking along in the jungle and there's like 100 hyenas attacked him. And this is where I learned the value of a team, Myles Munroe. And the lions was attacking, the hyenas was attacking the lion, and one more lion came, and every single one of those hyenas ran away. 2 lions versus 100 hyenas is more dangerous than 100 hyenas. So when I talk about motivation, I don't want to be Tony Robbins. I don't want to be Earl Nightingale. I don't want to be T.D. Jakes. I don't want to be Les Brown. I want to be the underdog, the project kid that grew up mother on heroin and father a career criminal. I want to be an example for all the poor kids growing up that feel like they don't have a voice, or they feel like where they at is where they're gonna stay forever. This is heavy as the head that wears the crown. I got a responsibility. I'm 32 years old. And right now, there's no leadership in the world. You just have a whole bunch of podcasts and speakers that's telling you how great you can be, but they're not with you when you're hurting and you at your worst. That's why I go to Compton, Carson High School with my brother Mike Evans and speak to those kids. You know? That's why I go to the Crenshaws. That's why I go to the Baltimores. That's why I go to the Chicagos. And where I was first inspired at was at a Tony Robbins conference. It had a gold, silver, and bronze package. I was in the bronze, took my last $50 to get this ticket, and I snuck to the silver. I saw some open seats in the silver, and I went to the silver seat, and what I realized is Tony Robbins was speaking. He was at the gold, and then he got to the silver. He spoke briefly to the bronze, and he turned around. And God whispered to me, he said, Will, who focuses on the broken? Who focuses on the people that's hungry, mothers that can barely feed their children or get even cough syrup? Who focuses on them? Then I asked God in my head, I said, God, but if I go this direction, God, how I'm supposed to make a living for my family? A statement from my grandfather popped up in my head, and you got to understand in life, God will send you signs and pieces through your whole life, and all those pieces you remember, you will never forget. And my granddad said, Will, the object is not to make $1 million, it's to make $1 1,000,000 times. Just make $1 1,000,000 times. Then when I focused on celebrity, I said, what is the celebrity, the celebrity of today doing right now? They're sitting in a seat that's only made for God. You see, a star is a lonely individual. If you look in the sky, a star sits alone, apart from the rest of the stars. It's one galaxy, but imagine if the stars came together, what did it look like in the sky? One of the most beautiful sights you will ever see in your life. And what I realized is if a LeBron James get out his car in the middle of Baltimore or the middle of Chicago or the middle of Detroit and walk up to a basketball court as he riding past to go to this podcast or this meeting and get out and say, yo, Kings, y'all the greatest. Get back in the car and ride off. He just created 100 more LeBron James. He just showed those young kings how to go get it and come back and inspire. In our community, the African-American community, we get it, and we went without so long, we don't want to share. It's like they put them in a small hole with one piece of cheese, and once the cheese was eaten, they started to eat each other. So when I come out and when I'm speaking, I'm always going to speak real. I'm not going to tell you what's popular to today. I'm going to tell you everything that's wrong with today. And right now, what's wrong with today is love, unity, racism, and a bunch of other things. But the number one thing that we need more than all is love. Understanding that we all are one human being. And it's our duty to come together. This life as human beings, this is God's puzzle. And all of us is just a piece. And if we come together and we put all the pieces together, we'll see the big picture that God wanted us to see, but it's powerful people that keep us from putting these pieces together. They kill pieces. That's why things don't change, because the pieces that's needed to change is dead. So if you look at what God did, God died for us. He died for us. And what you think, we made in the image and likeness of God, so we are gods. We're not the God, but we are gods. And what does gods do? Gods put their life on the line for individuals that's not strong enough to fight for themselves. That's what gods do. They sacrifice themselves.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it, all right? Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us, all right? Peace.